Hi, my name is Ethan Fleig, and this is the White River Monarch Migration Corridor. This is my senior capstone project. I did this working with the Central Indiana Land Trust, and essentially what this project does is I'm doing research on North American monarch butterflies and their migration patterns, and creating a strategic plan to identify sites along the White River that can. Hold on. Hi, my name is Ethan Fleig. This is my senior capstone project, the White River Monarch Migration Corridor. I did this with the Central Indiana Land Trust, and essentially what it's doing is I'm identifying sites along the White River with high erosion, and creating a model that can be applied to all these high erosion sites that create monarch migration stopover sites along the river and help them get down south. So this board is where I sort of introduce the cultural significance and ecological significance of monarch butterflies, talking about why this is important. Almost every culture in North America has some significant tie to monarch butterflies, and also they have very overwhelming significance as continental pollinators all across North America. This is a breakdown of their migration cycle and patterns, and also an introduction to their overall population decline in the 20th century. Here's where I start going into those population decline factors. A lot of them are agriculturally based, so this goes through some pesticides and herbicides widely applied across agriculture that greatly harm monarch populations, as well as habitat disruption. Here's some management factors. So CRP is the Conservation Reserve Program, and so this map shows the by county percentage of how many counties participate in this program. And I also go through the remaining grassland and protected grassland in the counties. You can see there's almost no protected grasslands in the Midwest region. This is sort of an overall summary of all of the GIS analysis I've done. So this uses a USGS tool to weight together all of these factors and create one summarizing map. So essentially what this is showing in this red map here, the darkest of red is the worst conditions due to agriculture and modern factors. That hurt monarch populations, and then the darkest of green here shows the most ideal conditions in the raw environment for monarch butterflies. So the problem we see here is in the areas where monarchs have the most beneficial habitat, they're having the worst conditions due to agriculture. So this sort of highlights the importance of why doing a project like this in the Midwest matters, because this is a very hard region for the monarchs to get through as they migrate down south. This sort of goes through how the corridor is going to be planned and how the corridor works. This also highlights some research that suggests that monarch butterflies follow waterways and rivers as they migrate south. This is my strategic plan to identify similar sites with high erosion conditions along the White River. I've also proposed a partnership program, a volunteer partnership program with private landowners that fall within these sites to participate in the riverbank restoration, as well as a partnership with the Indiana Department of Natural Resources. Here's a site tour of my stakeholder site with the Central Indiana Land Trust. It's in northern Indianapolis, and you can see in some of these site photos the conditions. There's a 30 to 50 foot drop from the highest point of the cliff down to the river. You can sort of see some of the exposed tree roots and how bad the erosion is here. So this is the model I'm proposing to be applied to all the high erosion sites along the White River. So this is a geocell or geoweb system. Essentially what it is a web of plastic pockets with perforated holes. The holes help root systems cross between cells, and essentially how it works is put down a geotextile, spread out your geoweb or geocell plastic pockets, fill them with topsoil, and then use either staked anchors, which are these guys right here, or a threaded tendon, which threads all the way from the top of the hill down to the bottom and provides ample tensile support. So this system allows you to completely vegetate a steep cliffside, and they're very strong. They can hold as much weight as you need them to. And then over the top, we drape a vegetation blanket pre-seeded with a custom palette of pollinator plants and other plants that help with deep roots secure the eroding soil. Here's a quick phasing breakdown. So phase one is site clearing, taking out all of the dead brush or at-risk trees of falling. Phase two is laying out the geotextile, preparing the site for installation. Site three is the system installation, so laying out that GeoWeb system, securing with the stakes and applying the vegetation blanket. And then site four is site monitoring. So for a few months at least, regularly monitoring the site once a week or twice a week, thoroughly watering it, making sure there's no parts of the system that are slipping or failing. This is sort of a plan showing where the different types of models are going to be applied on the site. And then here are some perspectives showing how it's going to look in its final phase, hopefully, in context. And here's an eye level of just some proposed viewing decks that could be applied on site. Thank you.